I want you to questify your life. And in order to do that, you need to know what Questify Your Life means and also why I questify my life. I think living with this character in this game, optimization would be a fool's errand. And when you're no longer aiming for optimization or to fix or cure the character or faults or your weaknesses, then what's next? And the answer is accommodations and adjustments. You make little tweaks to make your life a little bit easier. And you do that so that you can live a life that follows your values. Yet figuring out what works for you is going to be an experiment. It's ever changing based on the context of your life, and your context in your life is always changing as well. And that brings us to Questify Your Life. For me, Questify Your Life started as a system and a mindset to allow me to use the tools and skills that I had learned as I was starting my mental health recovery journey. And then it started to be used to figure out, what do I want to be doing with this one life I get, and what do I want to accomplish? And turns out that's pretty dang effective for me. I want to talk to you about Questify Your Life. I've been questifying my life since about 2019 as I started my mental health recovery journey. And it started as just doing little bits of gamification. And then I started to realize how helpful it is in reframing and actually utilizing skills I learned previous to getting into mental health recovery, like dialectical behavioral therapy skills or certain parts of positive psychology like gratitude. Because I don't aim to optimize my character. I think optimization is typically a fool's errand. If you're aiming for optimization, you're going to fall into a situation where regularly you're going to hit a wall, and anything further, you're going to hit the law of diminishing returns. And so I questify my life to have more ownership of the story that I want to tell, to have more fun, to be more playful, to take bigger risks, be better at failing. And it's so effective. Sometimes it's too effective, at least for me. And I can do it with pretty much anything. For example, a daily quest would be nourishing your body. And then some different games and quests within that. A game might be going and getting a bunch of different types of vegetables and trying to figure out, how do I make something delicious out of this? And maybe put a timer on or add a challenge to it. Eating healthy would be like your daily quest of eating healthy or getting enough nutrients to fuel your character's body and make sure that you have enough nutrients to get what you need. And that in itself is a quest, typically a daily quest. But then you can add little variations to make it fun. You can do that with anything. You can add it with movement, you can do it with your goals, you can do it with your values, you can have fun with your family. You can questify anything. There is a difference between questifying something and gamifying something. Gamification is adding game-like elements to the real world. So think experience points, leveling, tournaments, challenges, etc. A lot of businesses do this. So you'll see like Duolingo or just going to go with Duolingo. But I don't only use gamification. Like gamification is a tool I use, but overall I questify things, meaning I make everything into a quest in my mind as a story, as a philosophy, with the exception of the game that I really do utilize the most, which is Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons, similar to this game, the one we live in, is a collaborative storytelling game. And there's a lot that we can learn from Dungeons and Dragons. For example, if you roll a d20, 20-sided dice, and it hits number 20, that's a natural 20, a natural success. That's a critical success. It means you did the best you could on the dice. And that's great. But the opposite happens too. You roll, you hit a 1, that's a critical failure, worst case scenario. But also, sometimes a nat 1 can be fabulous for the story. And then you just keep moving forward. Now maybe you're wondering, hey, do you believe that everything's a simulation? Like we were in a video game, if you're like talking about making everything into quests or like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or a video game or fantasy novel, I don't know and I don't care. I don't care if we're in a simulation because I want to play this game. I spent so long wanting to rage quit this game, not participate. I didn't want anything to do with it. And I got to a point in my mid-20s where I got really, really lucky and I was able to start my mental health recovery journey. And I was able to start really desiring to play this game, even though, yes, it does feel like a dystopian nightmare at times. I have tips for that as well, because we do have cartoonishly evil villains in this world. But a lot of the violence that happens is intangible and very frustrating, and it causes actual harm. And these systemic injustices like racism, sexism, homophobia, ableism, classism, environmental issues, democracy issues, etc. There's so many more. Those cause harm. And I like to think of them as dragons, because if this were a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, we'd have more interesting things to fight. So why not think of it more like a dragon? And if you go try to fight a dragon alone, you're going to get burned, and in our world, burned out. And if you try to pretend that the dragons just don't exist, that these systemic injustices just where everyone's overreacting, you're just part of the problem. There's enough research out there and enough people who have been harmed to see that, yeah, these things are real, and there's a certain type of person who profits off of it. Wealth hoarders. And instead of people fighting against each other, all of us adventurers, those differences don't matter as much as the fact that we can show up in different systems and situations and try to make our communities a little bit better. We don't have to do everything to save the world. We just have to do everything to make our world, our little community, just a little bit better each day. That's it. And Questify Your Life allows me to go out and try to make my world better, and also enjoy what I have, so I know and savor and am grateful for the things that I have, because that's what I'm fighting for other people to have as well. I questify my life in order to make the world more tolerable for me. It's a philosophy. It's a mindset shift. It's kind of like the default TV channel in my brain is easily pathologized. And then the second channel would be mindfulness, so like landing in the moment and being present here and letting my thoughts just like wash through like a wave and not attaching to any of them. And then channel 3 is, oh, this is all a little quest, and I get to choose what to do next. I get to build my quest board. I get to decide what I want to put on cyberspace. I get to enjoy other people's company and go on special events, and it's just really helpful. And then when danger or like something triggers me to go back to channel 1, that's okay. And then I could manually go back to number 3. So I don't think of this as like actually being in a video game. It's more similar to the vibe of like putting on armor in Skyrim and getting those bonuses, or maybe kind of like one of the fairies from Zelda. It's not I am in a video game. It's I am utilizing these stories and tropes to make my life a little better. And I've been doing all of this for the past 7 years, and it's been pretty dang effective. Since then, I finished my bachelor's degree. I went to law school. I became a licensed attorney. I ran for Congress. And now I get to do whatever the heck this is, trying to find more fun and play. Because at the core of what I am aiming to do with bringing more content around Questify Your Life into being is to remind people that yes, things are serious, but we don't always have to be. We're allowed to enjoy ourselves and feel grateful for what we have and take breaks from all of the horrors of the world. We are allowed to create a game that we want to be playing and also taking steps to make the world a little bit of a better place and inconveniencing ourselves in order to do that sometimes. You do not have to go out and fight dragons to the point where you don't want to be playing this game at all. And it's going to change. Every little system and game and quest will continue to evolve and change. For me, it used to be just in bullet journals, and now I have all of this. I have my quest board for the next 6 months, the rest of the year. I have little areas up here for daily quests and weekly quests, and I love it. And also I'm making videos so that I don't info dump all of this onto my friends again and again and again, so instead strangers on the internet can enjoy it. Whatever quest you are on, I'm proud of you for going on it. I'll see you next time, and I will try to teach you how to questify your life.